اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Carrying on from yesterday, Mona Kurofsa was discussing about the stomach and the shahwa which is related to the stomach. And he mentioned that sometimes instead of eating to live, we live to eat. We are a nation or a people who are obsessed by food. The latest food blogs or vlogs or any of these foodies who travel to maybe Pakistan or to our countries, and then they do all these food videos and they become obsessed by that. So when we fast in the month of Ramadan, this is a means of controlling that shahwa, which is from the batan, from the stomach. And we might think that when I'm not eating or not drinking, then this is enough for my fasting. This is enough for my spirituality. But rather, there is a lot more to it. And this not eating and drinking, or eating and drinking with what is preferable and what is best for our spirituality, is a great sacrifice. And the month of Ramadan as well, whenever we feel hungry or thirsty, we feel the thirst or the pangs of hunger in our stomach, we should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say that, Ya Allah, this hunger, this thirst is for your sake. We should turn to Allah and say to Him that, Ya Allah, this is for you. And it's a sincerity which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes. And when it comes to eating, it's not just about filling ourselves, but rather it's where our food also comes from as well, which is very, very important. In an English proverb, it says, you are what you eat. So whatever we eat, that's how we're going to be. So if we enjoy junk food and healthy food, then we will have unhealthy bodies. We will be unhealthy spiritually as well. But if we eat wholesome, healthy food that our parents have cooked for us, they've worked hard, they have cooked with wudu, they are doing adhkar while they are cooking, and then you consume that food, subhanAllah, imagine what kind of spirituality, what kind of effect that will have on us. And compared to that, when you go to takeaways or restaurants, maybe there is music playing, maybe they are talking other things, not paying attention to anything, maybe not even praying their salah. And then we consume that food. That effect will have on us as well. So we have to ensure that what we eat is not only halal, but also wholesome as well. And also, as yesterday Maulana mentioned, that when Umar radiallahu anhu, he would see anyone buying meat more than once a week, then he would stop him. So Umar radiallahu anhu was very, very strict when it came to food consumption. And he literally not like those people who are overweight because of overeating. Once there was one person who had a very big stomach, and Umar radiallahu anhu touched him and said, Ma hada, that what is this? So this person said that Hada rahmatullah. This is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has given me so much food, I'm eating it. But Umar radiallahu anhu said, Bal hada adabullah. This is the adab and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because your stomach stops you from standing at night. Because you are busy resting on it. That you are overweight, you are unhealthy, you are not fit enough. That's why you're overeating. It's affecting your spirituality as well. So that is why you're not able to stand up in salah at night. This is not the rahmah of Allah, it is the adab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to ensure that what we consume is proper. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum. Eat from the wholesome and pure what we have provided. وَاشْكُرُوا لِلَّهِ إِن كُنْتُمْ إِيَّهُ تَعْبُدُونَ. And be grateful and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what He has given us. And to the Anbiya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الرُّسُلُ كُلُوا مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَاعْمَلُوا صَالِحًا. That eat from wholesome and healthy foods and do good deeds. From this we learn, when we eat healthy food, when we eat wholesome food, then we will be able to do ibadah. will be able to do ibadah. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his food was very simple: milk, dates, water, or very simple food. Once one Sahaba invited Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to his home. Come, let's go to eat. So when they reached the house, the Sahaba discovered there was nothing to eat. So he became really, really sad. And when he searched in his wardrobe, he only found some vinegar. And he brought that in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Prophet sallam, seen the sadness that he is feeling a bit shy or hard on himself, that all he has is vinegar to present in front of me. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "MashaAllah, very good. This is very good food." And he ate, he ate happily. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that if any person, he said first that this is the best curry. This is the best curry that you could have. Then you dab the bread into vinegar and you have it. It's very simple, very wholesome. And the Prophet said, anyone who has vinegar in his house, he will never ever face starvation. So look how happy he made the Sahaba, and how happy Rasulullah became with having vinegar. And the vinegar that we should consume, which is most nearest to the Sunnah, is balsamic vinegar. That's actually the most vinegar most nearest to the Sunnah. So we can try and consume this and make it part of our diet. So we have to be careful as well of our income, and the food we eat should be 100% halal. There should be no doubt in our food at all. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, that his servant used to bring food for him. Hadith in Bukhari, this one, that once he brought food and he ate it. So his servant said, "You never asked me where the food came from." So he said, "Where did it come from?" He said that I was a fortune teller before, and I was passing by, and the person gave me some money for some fortune telling I had done in the previous time. So this is, I bought food from there. So Abu Bakr anhu put his fingers down his throat and he vomited it. And he vomited everything. Why? Because you are what you eat. Whatever we consume has an effect on our spirituality. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, once he found out that there was a stolen goat being sold in the market. He stopped eating goat for a few months, just so that that goat being stolen does not end up on our table. Today, we actually end up buying stolen goods. Why? Because they are cheaper. And we get the best deals for our technology when they are stolen. We go for them. That's a different topic, but this is food. And it's mentioned also about Imam Nawawi rahmatullah alayhi, that for some time he stopped eating fruits. Why? Because he found out that there were some haram transactions which are happening regarding to fruits. So he stopped eating fruits totally till the end of his life. He never ate fruit. Why? Because he was afraid that that haram might end up on his table. Today, when we go to the takeaway or we go to any of these outlets, Subway or anywhere, there is so much cross-contamination. So much cross-contamination. But we don't even blink an eye. Why? Because our shahwa, our stomach, our pet, desires it. I want that Subway. I want that McDonald's. I want that Nando's, whatever it could be. Why? Because it's been ingrained in our minds, this is good for you. But on the other hand, we are being told, Kulu min at-tayyibat. Kulu halalan tayyibat. Halal and tayyib. And in a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave the example of a person that he is a traveler. And a traveler, their du'as are accepted. But he's traveling, his hair is dusty, his body is dusty, his hair is all scrambled, and he is in a difficult time, and he's crying and making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the hadith says, his food is haram, his drink is haram. فَأَنَّا يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. Where will his dua be accepted from? That we fast the month of Ramadan, but our consumption, our food, our income is haram. Then how will our fasting be accepted? So we have to think about this. And it doesn't mean that you don't do dua. It doesn't mean that you stop doing dua. But my dua won't be accepted, so I will not do dua. I'll not do ibadah. My ibadah is rejected. No, we should carry on. Why? Because that ibadah will make us stop haram. So we should carry on. And once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Sa'ad radiallahu anhu that, "O Sa'ad, atib mat'amak takun mustajabud da'wah." That purify your food and you will become someone whose du'as are accepted. And Sa'ad radiallahu anhu, he was known as mustajabud da'wah. That whatever dua he would make, his dua would be accepted. And the Sahaba knew regarding this. Once one person came to complain against Sa'd radiallahu anhu in the time of Amir Mu'mineen, and he said something against Sa'd radiallahu anhu. So then Amir Mu'mineen said to him that if you are saying the truth, then fine. If you are lying, a punishment will come to you. And the Sahaba say that we seen the punishment come to that person. Why? Because we knew that Sa'd radiallahu anhu was mustajabud da'awat. Anyone who does something against them, then they face the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even Hajjaj ibn Yusuf, he was afraid of him. Why? Because he knew it was mustajabud da'awat. Because his food was halal, his consumption was halal. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who consume halal and who take care of whatever we eat, because the spirituality of our stomach is also key to our ibadah.